thought it was a good idea to let AOC, of all people, speak at a town hall, or at least try to speak.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, I
have no words. And on that note, neither did she. I'm going to set the stage for you, okay? There was a big security conference in Munich, and there were many world representatives, right? Like each region has speakers that come and participate and I guess like represent the places they're from. And we did not send our best. We are not sending our best speakers, okay? This is the real who's who of Democrat losers were there to speak. You had Gavin Newsom, Hillary Clinton, and AOC. And, it is equal parts, I think, agonizing and also very glass half full when you hear Hillary Clinton speak, because there are moments in life sometimes where you're like, hindsight, I mean, I always knew Hillary Clinton was a terrible person, but hindsight, really hindsight, you're like, ooh, we dodged a bullet there. All right. We could have had Hillary Clinton, as president, and we didn't have to go through that at all. We just had like one of the greatest presidents of our lifetime instead. So it's a little bit like, oh man, it's a little vindicating to see, but she's up there on a world stage, taking the opportunity to trash President Trump to anyone who would listen. She clearly has TDS more than anyone else. I mean, I think she has PTSD from President Trump beating her. She never thought that it could happen. She took her position for granted. She thought she was, of course, the rightful heir to the throne. And how dare that Donald Trump go and steal it from her? And so she was trying to trash President Trump to literally anyone who would listen. I think maybe she got confused that she was like in her therapist room or something. I don't know. But thankfully, Peter Masinka, Deputy Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, did not let her get away with it.
None of us in this room, including all of us on this panel, would choose to live under a regime that was so unaccountable that it could act with impunity the way that Putin does, except that's who Trump is modeling himself
I don't think we would be having this debate.
First, I think you really don't like him.
That is absolutely true. But I really, not only do I not like him, I don't like him because of what he's doing to the United States and the world. And I think you should take a hard look at it if you think that there is something good that will come out of it.
Peter.
What I think Trump is doing in America, I think it is reaction for something for some policies that really went too far from the regular people, too far from reality. So, we saw the cancel culture. We saw the woke revolution.
All of them.
I don't agree with the gender revolution, the climate alarmism.
Which gender? Women having their rights?
No, let Peter go on.
I think there are two genders. So, but
what is a woman, Hill?
Half of us.
Some of us think that there is more than one, or more than two gender. I think there is male and female, and the rest probably is a social construct. So this is something that went too far.
He's like, Hill dog, you guys got too crazy. You got too cuckoo and you lost people. And she's like, oh, are you talking about women's rights? Like, oh, now all of a sudden, conveniently, you know what women are. Isn't that interesting? That his point was, you want to claim that there's 8,500 different genders. And she's like, oh, what? Oh, you want to talk about women's rights? Like, now you're going to speak on a woman. You don't think a woman should have rights in the bathroom. You don't think a woman should have rights in the locker room. You don't think women should have rights to, their own scholarships for sports. You don't think women have rights to their own championships. You don't think women have rights at all. You don't think women have rights in prison, where they now get housed with biological men who rape them. But you, Hillary Clinton, the woman who is unspeakably evil to the women that your husband sexually assaulted, you want to utter anything about women's rights. That is so laughable. That is disgusting. Now, this guy is trying to, I thought he was much politer than I would have been. He's trying to politely explain to her that she doesn't have the moral authority here. And apparently, again, like the TDS is too strong. The PTSD that she has from not winning the election that she really felt like she was the rightful winner of, it was too far. And so the lesson didn't stick for Hillary Clinton because she went on to speak at another panel, again, about women's rights. Now at the top of their list, women's rights. Well, not when the trans people are actually decimating women's rights. And so, who better to speak to that issue alongside her than a dude in a wig, Tim McBride.
At the end of the day, transphobia, homophobia, misogyny, and sexism are all rooted in the same prejudice. The belief that one perception at birth should dictate who you are, how you act, what you do, who you love, and how you dress. And it's why threats toward trans people are threats toward all women.
Well, I appreciate how you expanded the aperture, Sarah, because I agree that this is about any evidence of nonconformity. This is about, as you say, scarcity. This is about not falling in line. This is about questioning the patriarchy.
Guys, they have absolutely zero self-awareness. Zero self-awareness. The only patriarchy that exists is Tim McBride. Like that is the real patriarchy. They used to talk about the patriarchy all the time. Screw the patriarchy, damn the man. We're not going to take it. When we used to all agree that women were women and men were men. And now we see, there actually was a patriarchy. We used to make fun of them. What patriarchy? What patriarchy? What rights do men have that you don't have? And now we realize what the real patriarchy was all along. It actually was the idea that a man can put on a wig, put on some fake boobies, and he can actually just take your shit. Like he can, again, take your scholarships, take your championships, take your privacy in your bathroom. Like he can actually just like be Leah Thomas, whatever the hell his name was. What was his real name? I don't even remember. But you can be that guy and you can just suck at what you do, like swimming, and you can just go in the women's division and just take all of their championships. Like that is the actual patriarchy. It is laughable that these people want to talk about the patriarchy. The only patriarchy that exists is the trans issue. Now, I regret to inform you that wasn't even the most embarrassing thing that was done at this conference. Like I guess I saved I say the best for last, but it's not really. I say that tongue in cheek because it's actually very embarrassing. They had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez there she was going to try to speak. She tried it. Didn't happen.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that
yes,
this is such
it?
I think that
yes,
this is a
hello.
This is, of course, a
the hamster is in the wheel and that wheel is off the track. Boom, 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 boom. That wheel is, nope. That hamster has been a little rattled from all of the head hitting the wheel, and it's gone a little retarded. It's gone a little, she has no idea. Why are we sending AOC for this? Why is this our girl? Why is this our representation? And by the way, it just gets worse. But wait, there's more. She did finally decide that she could speak words, real words, higher than kindergarten level. And they let her speak at this TED Talk, like this TEDx event in Berlin, which, boy, If your list of speakers dons Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you are pretty desperate. And so she tried to troll Marco Rubio's speech at one point. Watch.
Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word on that.
Okay. Wait until she figures out who colonized Mexico and why they speak Spanish. AOC. Also, history lesson. Spain brought over horses to North America in the 1500s, which no horses, no cowboys. I just would can we just let this be? There's more, but wait, there's more again. But can we just let this be the example that we can all point to and say bartenders should not be in Congress? That just needs to be the new rule. I'm sorry if there are any bartenders that are actually very smart, but she's ruined it for all of you. Okay? She's too retarded. She could stick to bartending. Make me a Jack and diet. Stop trying to talk at TEDx. Okay? You don't know what you're talking about. Clearly you failed history. Also, it's not the only subject that she failed. I believe she failed geography as well, because here is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez talking about Venezuela.
It is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator.
And of course, the seals. What a fine point from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Except, newsflash, Venezuela is actually entirely above the equator. That's why I'm saying, let's just ban bartenders from Congress. Okay? Just any smart bartenders out there, take one for the team. We've had our test case, and she's failed. It's failed. Sorry, pack it up. Sorry to ruin your dreams, but that's just going to be how it is. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.